What did I tell these clowns? What did I tell them? They wouldn't listen. They wouldn't listen. This is Shriman Virabaja, and we're gonna talk about a lot of things that happened yesterday. Of course, I wanted to make sure um, some additional information came out before I made this video or made this stream, so we can elaborate on everything that has transpired. Um, we need to look at how the bias against white collar boxers and fighters who opt not to take the amateur route. Let's just be honest. You know, I myself, I'd consider myself a very elite skilled, a open class talent, white collar boxer. That's not taking away from other white collar boxers like Fabio Wardley, Doy Muhammad Ali. You know, of course, people naturally have a bias against someone who doesn't have an amateur career. You know, I had a friend last night. Um, he had an amateur boxing match at the Tito Trinidad Invitational in Orlando. Um, Yet he doesn't. He didn't really want to hear what I had to say because I didn't have an amateur career. I. It's hard for me to. It's really hard for me to process that because you're not only thinking about the sport of boxing, but you're also thinking of like friendship as well in that regard because somebody saying that I don't know what they're going through, training for a fight, the blood, sweat, and tears that go into a training camp and sparring, and just the grind all the way through the training camp. Um, from feeling on top of the world to feeling deprived, you know, um, it was hard. It was hard for me to see um, someone. I at least I feel and get the wrong side of the stick, and he doesn't like he's content with the cards he was dealt. He was content with what happened. Um, with the scorecards and stuff like that, and I feel like there's a clear difference between being happy or just being happy to be there to going in there with the mentality of taking someone out. Of course, in the amateur boxing rings, if you're not knocking people out and you're not setting things up behind the jab, um, I don't see how you're going to even compete in amateurs because everything's all these pitter pat punches are scored, and that may not you know that definitely may not transpire, man. That's just horrible, man. It's just horrible. People are being content with being robbed and stuff like that, or being wronged. Yeah, but one thing I can say, as much as I'm feeling down about that, I'm feeling up about Wardley stopping Joseph Parker. I warned everybody that he would stop Joseph Parker. No one would listen. All this bias against white collar boxers. You know, and the reason why this hits me so hard is because I myself am one, and I didn't have some illustrious amateur career. I don't have that. But at the same time, all the bias against it, you know, um, especially in my area, like USA Boxing, they don't like they don't like that stuff, man. They don't like white collar boxers at any USA Boxing event. Yeah, Tom Aspinall, man, that was a crazy thing. Whoa. All right, homie. Let me drop the stream yard in case if you want to get on. Give me one moment. All right, I just put that in the description or there in the chat. So anybody wants to hop on, they can. All right. What's up, buddy? What's going on?
Not much, man. Did you? I didn't catch it live, but did you see the Tom Aspinall?
Yeah, man. It was like I saw a gun get through some jabs, and it looked like it had nicked Aspinall's nose. There's some dirty exchanges, but Cyril Gahn deliberately put out his hands in a manner where it resulted in a double eye poke. You know, two of his fingers are out, and both of them went right into his eyes. It was a good no contest. Um, it kind of
That's
reminds me of like Ben
John
Whitaker
Jones.
versus Liam Cameron,
That's like
and
John Jones does that all day.
yeah, like John Jones does it all day. I mean, he's the type of person to get away with it though, man, because he's in bed with Dana, so um, I'm just not feeling I'm just feeling a little bit drained because of something that happened last night because the white collar boxing, people being biased against white collar boxers and everything.
What do you
Uh,
mean?
Worley, well, it was something. It's a combination of like what I'm doing here on social media, here on YouTube, and a combination of I had a friend. He had the amateur fight at the Tito Trinidad Invitational yesterday in Orlando, and he says some weird shit, man. Like I don't know what he's going through and stuff like that, and I do know what he's going through. I never had an amateur career. I've fought I fought for money ever since I was like 14, 15 years old. So you know I know a lot about
What?
preparation. I know a lot about sacrifice. And to say, and I've been through a lot of things outside of the sport of boxing that would take out any man. And you know, to say that I'm here is a testament of that. And to say somebody that I don't have, someone told me that I don't have standards, basically. I don't hold myself to a standard.
Okay,
You
but
know,
what do you mean? What do you mean white collar boxing? And what do you mean? Like, what does that have to do? What does your issue have to do with like Fabio Wardley?
well, I don't have a issue with Fabio Wardley.
No, I
Well,
understand that,
Fabio
but
Wardley is a good fight. Yeah, Fabio Wardley did great, yesterday. He showed everything that a white collar boxer is. Determined, has heart, may not have the best. Uh, he may not have the best technique, but he has that ultimate equalizer. And he looked a hell of a lot better than Deontay Wilder does.
oh shit, I didn't even. Damn, that was yesterday. The Parker Wardley.
Yeah, Wardley stopped him, and
Wardley
Fabio Wardley
stopped
win.
Parker.
Fabio Wardley knockout. Yep.
Oh my
They
god.
they wanted to blame it on, like, people are just being biased towards Fabio Wardley because he didn't have an amateur career, just like myself. You know, to run off a quick side note, my friend last night, he told me that he didn't want to listen to me because I didn't have an amateur career. And it's like, dude, I've been fighting for longer than he's even been watching boxing. And I find that very, very
Hold on.
disrespectful.
Let's get back to the. Yeah, sorry to hear that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Sometimes you'll listen. I'll touch on that a little bit. Yeah. I seen a clip. There was this Muay Thai fighter. Is an American Muay Thai fighter, and he went to Thailand. And I don't know if you've seen the clip too. You must have seen it. There's like a little kid. The kid was like 9, 10 years old, and he hopped in the ring, and he was giving the fighter some tips. And that sometimes you got to be humble, right? Because the fighter, even though he's a grown man, he was taking advice from this little kid. The kid was like 9, 10 years old. The kid told him, he told him what not to do, and then he told him what to do. He's like, he motioned like the elbows and all this stuff, and the guy ended up winning with the elbow. Like, he knocked the other guy out with the elbow. Like, so the kid, it doesn't matter how old you are or whatever. If you have an eye for certain things, you can. Uh, what I'm saying is, you should be humble and be open to taking
Yeah,
suggestions as long as it
exactly.
makes
And
sense.
not only that, it's really important that boxers take in consideration that, or even amateur boxers in this case, um,
Yeah, but
and take into
real quick.
consideration that when somebody's been through through a hellstorm for 15 years, man,
Yeah, hold on,
15,
real quick
16
though.
years.
Hold on, real
Yeah,
quick. Let's get back. I didn't even know that shit was yesterday. Now,
yeah,
did you call that Wordly? Did you call for the upset? I don't know. I don't remember. I
yeah.
don't remember.
I called Fabio Wardley win, Fabio Wardley knockout, just
Is that
like the
what you said
title of
when
the
we
video.
spoke? Is that what I'm pretty sure you did, right? Is that what you said? Because I don't
Yeah,
really recall. We
yeah.
talked
That
about a
I've
lot of things.
been saying it for about a month or two now. As the
Right,
fight
but see,
got
here's the
close,
thing.
I had to watch, like, how they were moving in training camp and everything to
Let
make
me type the odds.
the best assessment.
Let me type the odds. All right. So what?
Yeah, Facts Boxing, Wiz, Wardley Betters did eat last night. People hate white collar boxers, man. Look at the big YouTube channels. They
ten to
sitting here
one.
tripping out over Fabio Wardley winning because
Golly, if
he
you were,
didn't have
it was
some.
10 to 1.
An amateur career. He didn't have no amateur career. Joseph Parker had an amateur career. They were all on Joseph Parker because he's this proven fighter. And definitely, like I just don't really subscribe to what they're saying. All this controversy, they're just putting on a foil hat, and they're diving into conspiracy theories now. So Now the shoe's on the other foot. I told him I said so, and I was on counter butt punch boxing, one of his videos earlier today. I had commented and said that you feeling moist, and I said last night that he was feeling moist as well. And he came out with a video this morning saying I'm not feeling moist, and I said, dude, and I said in comments, man, you clearly feeling moist, and you Biz, and a whole lot of them clowns up there don't like these boxers with no amateur careers, man. So quit that bias shit. This is about in ring capability, not about some names on a piece of paper or on some box rec page. And because what you did in the past ain't gonna save you in the present. You know what I mean? I mean, other than certain experiences, but
Who
when it
else
comes
was
to
on
in
that
ring
card?
capability and mindset, it doesn't matter what the so-called skill set is. It's about going in there, being accurate as possible, landing those shots, and going in for the kill and finishing the job. End of story. Fabio Wardley's proven that on multiple occasions, and it's definitely not another fluke. He's proven that he can turn someone's lights out at any point. And Parker wasn't responding accordingly. And I agree 110% that the stoppage was right.
Wow, that's amazing. And who was on the undercard?
They had Quartermain versus Rolls blah blah blah. It was what is his name? Danny Quartermain versus that boy Royston Barney Smith. Yeah, that Royston Barney Smith put on a boxing clinic, and in my opinion, yeah, they had the fight 100 to 88. So there was two 10-8 rounds. He knocked down um, Danny Quartermain a couple times, and yeah, he boxed his way to a pretty wonderful decision, in my opinion.
Did you
And
let me ask you. Did you said you bet on what's his name that what's the guy name that
Andy
knocked out?
Ruiz,
All right,
Andy
you bet on
Ruiz,
Andy. Yeah, was that
yeah,
through an
the
app?
first one.
Was that through an app?
Yeah, I went through an app. Well, I actually went through a website because we didn't really have those apps legal for usage in Tennessee yet
Are they
until
legal
like
now?
yeah, they're legal now. They're legal now, like
Okay,
Caesars
now let me. All
Sportsbook
right, all right, all
and
right, hold on.
all
All
that.
right, so let me. It was a two-part question. So did you place a bet on Wordley?
No, no, I don't gamble anymore, man. I stopped doing that because
Or fair
I
enough.
I, went,
Fair.
I was reading the scriptures, man. I was reading my religious scriptures, and I came down to the conclusion that
Uh-huh.
gambling can lead to the destruction of your finances if
Yeah,
things
that
get
that
out of
is true.
control. So,
That
so
is
it's
true.
best to not get out of line and sink your finances into the gutter and not even be able to open up a bank account because some suspicious activity history.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay. So, but you did have faith in now. But here's the thing, though. You like to call these. You really liked Fabio Worley or Wordley, or did you? Because I noticed there's a trend in your predictions. You like to uh to pick the sharp underdog. Like you like to pick the long dogs, and sometimes they pull through, and a lot of times they don't. But um,
Yeah, I mean, all these people, all these content creators, they want to, you know, cut for the A side. They want to sit there and, plead their case to everyone, and they don't want to talk about they talk about how great Boots Ennis was, but they didn't say a damn thing about Wisma Lima. You know what I mean?
No,
My job is to educate
they're
people. My
listen.
job
Hold
is
on,
to
hold on, hold on, hold
educate
on.
people.
Yeah, right. Hold on. But they're content creators. They're there for clicks and views. They say what's trending, and as a content creator, you kind of um you kind of want more. They're gearing toward. They want more clicks
Yeah,
and
but
views.
that's all ass kissing, man. I'm not on here to be an ass kisser like them. They're willing to like kiss ass and say whatever in order to get the interviews and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
I'm too trill for that. I am way too trill for that.
they're more commercial. They're more commercial. Did you
No, they're
have?
bought out, man. They're taking the knee. They're freaking paid out,
No,
and
I don't think what's
they
his name is
don't.
paid out. I
They
don't think.
they're all on agendas, bro.
I don't
They're
think
all
Counterpunch.
told.
I don't think Counterpunch is bought out. He's kind of. He's
I
not
mean,
yet
I
at
don't
least.
know, man. He's all on Usyk. He's all on Usyk. He was he's all for Atama or Usyk avoiding Atama, yet not calling it a duck. Um, he's he's just all over the place when it comes to like uh, like what
What is
Wardley
his?
done to Parker. He
What
was
is he?
all
What
on
does he
Joseph
call
Parker.
himself? What does he call himself again? Kurt Deville, right?
Yeah, that
Counterpunch.
became Kirby.
Kurt
Yeah,
Deville. I
I
like
mean, I
that guy.
guess that's his name, bro. Yeah, like I mean, he seems like a cool dude, but his boxing takes,
Right.
man, it's like, come on, bro. And I've took on the whole damn empire over the weekend, bro.
Did
I
you?
took on Counterpunch Boxing and I took on Showbiz the Dope, and I was the only one who walked out with the right prediction. So, these guys don't know shit about in ring capabilities. They just want to read the damn resume and come up with assumptions. They'll be like, "Oh, Wardley will get outboxed for most of the
Yo,
rounds."
hey,
Well, you got to
is
be
that
perfect for 12 if you want to
is that
avoid that man.
boxing wizard? Hold on. Is that boxing wizard the numbers guy? Is he that numbers guy with the
I don't know Suleiman or the boxing librarian. That's the guy that
No,
really
no,
be
no, no.
concerned about
The individual in your chat. He's typing in your chat. There's a boxing wizard
who you got
a
upcoming
couple years
turkey
ago.
card in a couple weeks. Both of y'all. Well, let me start off, and I'll let you go. I have, of course, I have Benavidez all day. I have um Fernando Martinez defeating Bam. I have
Oh shit! Hold on. You can't just
I
brush through that.
have I
Hold on. We
have
gotta stop. Hold on. We gotta talk about
I'm
that real
not
quick.
done
Hold on.
yet though. I'm not
No,
done
hold
yet.
on. You can't just brush through that. You just said you picked someone over Bam Rodriguez.
Yes, for Puma Martinez, bro. I've been a
We gotta
Puma.
talk before
I've
you
been
go
on
on. We
Puma
gotta talk
forever,
about this.
bro. I've been on Puma since since before Bam even turned a pro, bro.
All right, hold on. Now, let me type in the odds of this. Hold on. Bam Rodriguez.
Man, it's like Bam Rodriguez. I mean, he seems to be an all right fighter, but that snack affiliation.
Wait, that don't
I
got
just
nothing to
can't
do with him
subscribe to
winning or
that.
losing, though.
I think it does, man. I think performance enhancing drugs is a real factor to take in consideration when winning a fight now. Especially with these snack fighters being protected by VADA, and this shit right here going on in Saudi next month. It's not gonna matter because Puma, who's been around the world, this is Bam Rodriguez, his first fight
Holy
outside of North
fuck.
America. You
Oh
hear me?
shit. It says he's minus 3,000. Bam. He's
Yeah,
minus
those
3,000. So you
those
gotta lay a
odds are
thousand dollars.
absolutely cucked.
So you hold on.
Those
Well, listen. So you can make a pretty penny if you bet for the other guy, Cafu. Where's Cafu from?
What are you talking about? He didn't. He already fought Cafu
Oh,
earlier.
well, who the hell is he fighting now then?
He's fighting Puma Martinez, bro. His name is Fernando Martinez. Yeah. No, like I'm a big up on Puma right there because
Cafu?
uh
Oh no, Fernando Rodriguez for.
no, Martinez.
Oh, okay, Fernando Martinez.
Here, I'll even just change my avatar so
Oh, I got
you'll
it.
see
I got
one from. Yeah, there you go. That's what
November
he looks
twenty
like.
second, Riyadh.
Hmm. On the
Heavy.
Benavides card.
Okay, he's heavily favored. Not as much, man. Minus 650 to 1,000, somewhere around that park. So it's not gonna be that bad of a. It's supposed to be a pretty decent fight if you're going by the odds. They're not that far
Yeah,
apart, but he is
yeah. I
a
think I
he
know
is like a six to
Puma's
one.
gonna put in that work.
All right, so
Yeah,
they're both
Puma's gonna
they're
put in that work,
so they're both
and
Hispanic. They're
that's not
both
even the
Mexican, right?
only fight. Yeah, that's not the only fight I'm interested in right there. I have Sam Noakes taking out Abdullah Mason and winning the WBO belt
And he's
because
another dog. He's another dog
yeah,
to you. He's a live
Sam
dog.
Noakes is like Sam Noakes is like he's one of the UK fighters that really has that dog inside of him. And Abdullah
Oh,
Mason's getting sitting here getting dropped by freaking old men with no hardly any experience. So
all right. So who's headlining
mm,
that fight? That's a good fight. If you got Bam on the undercard, like he's not even not undercard, but he's not
well, they're called main cards. Like
right,
people
right.
keep
He's
on
on the main
saying,
card, right?
people keep on saying fighters on the main card or on the undercard. No, no, no.
Right. Well,
If you're
what
on
I
an
meant was
undercard, you're on
what I
the
meant was
prelims.
he's not headlining it. Yeah, he's not headlining the
Yeah,
fight.
yeah,
He's not
yeah.
headlining the
People
card. That's
are
that's a good
people are horrible. Like I notice boxing, like the macro content creators, like on the big channels, they sit here and they keep on saying it, and it's like, man, they got to change how they word things. They
right,
really
right.
do.
Yeah, you're right. Main card is a main card. That if you're not on the main card, you're on the prelims. All right, gotcha. So,
Exactly.
but
Exactly.
that
So
but
like calling either Bam Rodriguez or Fernando Martinez an undercard fighter, that's diabolical, bro. Both of these like Puma is an international star, regardless if you have
I
seen
got
his fights
I
or
got you.
not.
I got you. But so is he? Is he?
He's been to Japan, he's fought in Argentina, he's fought all over the damn world.
Yeah, we get. I
Something
get
that
it. I get it.
Bam is
So
yet to
listen.
experience.
So what when are they fighting? Like on the card? When are they fighting? Are they co-main or is it like right before the main event?
Mm, I'm not exactly sure how it's all lined up. I mean, I'm sure I could. I'm sure how we could look it up
No, no,
on
it's all right. Well, so who is the main event then?
Benavides yard.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Yeah, because they're
Benavid.
putting that on in Saudi, and they got all these bangers going on that main card as well. Yeah, and even the undercard looks
That's a nice
fire
card.
too.
Yeah, that's a nice card. That's a nice main card. I don't know who's on the
I
undercard.
mean, I don't like the guy. I don't like the guy who's running things, but
Yeah.
um, I don't like the location of the fight. To be
Okay.
honest, I don't believe. I believe that giving Saudis a platform to bolster their entertainment industry while taking away from the industry in the West is
hmm
something that's going to hurt the boxing market for American fighters in
I
the
really
long run.
don't. I really don't care about the
And even
politics.
even like it could even affect the way Mexican fighters move, depend on the situation.
Yeah, I don't care about me. To me, I don't care about the politics as long as they're bringing on the fight. They're giving us the fights we want. Even
You
though
don't care about the. You don't care that Turkey has a prison, whole entire prison wing of 5,000 people that are probably sentenced between anywhere between 18 to 20 years for criticizing him. And is that not
for
a
for
does not
criticizing him,
draw suspicion? Yeah.
I mean, America is the biggest. We have the biggest prison industrial complex over here.
Well, I know that. I know they
I mean,
have the
people are getting.
biggest
I
prison
mean, people
industrial
are. I
complex,
mean,
but if you can't take
our
criticism,
justice department is broken over here as well. I understand that
I
though.
mean,
Yeah, I get what you're saying over there.
I
Yeah,
mean, are people getting thrown in jail for criticizing people though? I mean, come on, bro. Like
they
he's sitting here
some
throwing
of them are.
reporters. He's sitting here throwing reporters into jail for freaking criticizing him for him running a soccer club. You know, it's
So are they Saudi Arabian reporters? Are they American reporter? What kind of reporters?
They're Saudi Arabian reporters, but and you know, I don't really agree with what Turkey Al Sheikh does because you know his affiliation and basically his like we talked about last time about how the lineage or how the lineage kind of runs. You know, it kind of runs horizontally instead of like hereditary. You know, so it goes from like a king to his brother, and then the brother to the.
Yeah, but they do. They're from a different world. Like, I mean, I know we don't
Well,
understand. They still do. Don't they still stone people to death? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
yeah, I mean, but here's the thing, man. His affiliation with Mohammed bin Salman,
uh
uh,
huh.
and him, the killing of Jamal Khashoggi.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, I think I told you about that stunt in Istanbul. You know, where they cut him up and took him out in travel bags. You know, so
Yeah, there's a
yeah,
lot of things I don't like about
yeah. So I don't subscribe to them. You know, and I
they
also
still
don't subscribe to Donald Trump and guys like that, world leaders. You know, dumping
yeah.
money into Saudi Arabia just for them to keep this shit going. You
Like
know,
that
so they're using
that
geopolitics
whole
to
that
fund
whole
their boxing operation,
that whole
and I don't
region,
agree with that.
yeah, like that whole region, like they like to they like to show off their money, like they act like they're so rich and wealthy, which they are, right, to a point. But if you're that rich and money's nothing to you guys, why do you guys have slave laborers? Why do you guys import laborers from countries like the Philippines and India or Bangladesh, whatever? You got them doing
That's because per capita they're shit. That's why. Only the rich, only a handful of people are rich.
right. Well, I think the citizens get the Saudi Arabian citizens. They get paid pretty well. They got like stipends or something, right? They get like oil money, like a little share of the oil money or something. Which is why they have to import workers because nobody wants to work. They're already getting money, but they have like slavery. There's like slavery. There's definitely some type of slavery going on where they import all these workers and they take their visas and because I've been watching some YouTube stuff
I mean,
where
look at what happened. Look at what
especially
has
women,
happened there
especially the
in
women,
Qatar. Yeah,
yeah,
look
especially
at
the
what's
women.
happened there in Qatar. Like all them, all those migrant workers or all those all those foreign all that foreign help they got. Yeah, all these people freaking dying, and you not even
Exact,
compensating families and shit like that. You know,
yeah,
like that's some dog shit right there. You
right.
know,
But they want to,
people are having their like families are having like the patriarch of the family getting sent home in a damn box while motherfuckers aren't held accountable, and that right there
yeah. I
is
get
just like
that part. I get that part, and they want to they want to boast like they're so prestigious and all this shit. But yeah, so I understand that part. Yeah, you're right. You are right. I mean, just for but they don't have that's the way it is over there. They don't have free speech. They don't believe in that stuff. I mean, women just got the
No,
right to what's right.
the problem is they can't take criticism. They got that little man complex like Napoleon Bonaparte. They can't stand being put in the corner, and they're willing to do whatever shit it is to cover up their wrongdoing. And all these people who subscribe to what he's trying to push on the sport of boxing is part of the problem. It is actually advancing the cancer
Man,
that is trying to take over the sport of boxing.
are you trying to make me feel guilty here? Is that what you're trying to do? Are you gonna be you're gonna be watching that card though, regardless of how you feel.
I'm definitely not gonna be buying it. Put it
I ain't
that
really
way.
had about I haven't bought a fight in a while. I'll tell you what what my last fight I bought was
I mean, Dana White says, "Oh, we're gonna stop all these streamers and all this other stuff, man.
good luck with
Screw
that,
that,
Dana
man.
White. Yeah, good.
Good luck with
It's
that,
above.
Dana. Stream
It's
game's
above
still
Dana
here,
White.
bro.
It's above Dana White now, man. At this point, he can't do anything. I mean, he could try to, but
I mean, we're too slick for him. We're too slick for Dana.
I've been
He's nowhere
streaming
near on our
fights.
level.
I've been streaming fights since, I mean, for a long time, man. And back in the days, I used to watch them after they went live. Like, yeah, they weren't like going live. I wasn't watching them live, but it was like right after it was over with. Then I would be find some website where they would post it. I think it was man, I had the name in my head, but it was a guy named Kim.com. He was a German guy. Oh yeah, it was Mega Upload was the company's name. Mega Upload. Where
Yeah, yeah,
That's where I
yeah. I'll
used
be
to.
careful. I would be careful on disclosing that um on a live stream. So YouTube and
Well,
Dana
it's
and
gone
all
now.
that
I don't.
stuff.
It's gone now. It's been gone
Okay,
for a
okay, I
long
got
time.
you.
So the guy's a he's a German guy. He lived at the time in New Zealand. He got raided by the feds over there. Their Fed, and
Yeah,
maybe it has to do with our feds too. But I guess they
I
try to
mean,
see.
I mean, if
He
they
got away
have
with
like
it.
if it's international, it's Interpol. So I mean, if they put an Interpol order on them,
Yeah,
it is
that's
what
what
it
they
is.
did on him. That's what they tried to do. So he had like he had like 500 million or something like that he made off these websites.
Yeah.
The guy was a genius. I was a big fan of it. I was a big fan of his because he was putting out all this MMA content. Whether it was private. It wasn't him that was doing it though. He created the website, and it was like people like me and you could share the files back then, and there were just people.
Exactly, bro.
So he really didn't do it, but he provided the platform to do it. And it wasn't just it was every kind of file, any type of file you wanted. There was movies up there and everything. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like when you're doing stuff like that, you got to do it from a place where Interpol don't have a reach. So if you want to stream fights,
Hmm.
you gotta do it in a country where Interpol and the feds won't come after you. So
Yeah. But
it's that simple. Like
I'm
if you're in the
40.
USA, the
Yeah.
UK, or somewhere over there in Europe, man, it's like all these guys are all tied into all that. So you gotta really be on your P's and Q's if you're going that route.
I mean, yeah, but the cable box was around since like the 90s. They were watching pay-per-view events since I don't know how long, but I mean, I remember my neighbors, they had the cable box in the 90s, you know. So it's been going.
Yeah, but
I
were
don't see
they
how
paying
Dana
those
White's going
pay
to
per
stop
views
it.
though? But how much were them pay per view charges though on them cable boxes?
I don't know. Weren't they free? I mean, it was like it was a cable box, man. It wasn't just they were streaming it. I mean, not streaming it, but they were illegally watching those on cable.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of like an old school jailbreak
Right.
device, you know. Yeah.
Right. And this was going on in the
Man, I've
90s,
heard
man.
I've heard of a few of those, but it's like, man, I always heard that like some would act up or something. So, you know,
Right. Yeah.
I myself, I've all like up to a certain point of once I found out deeper and deeper the corruption within the sport. You know, I'm gonna be straight on this. I didn't like I haven't like had interest in supporting these promotions, and you know
Hmm.
you throw fixed fights, you know, people taking dives or champions champions ducking up and comers and saying that, well, that up and comer was never on his level anyway. And you know, I just think is somebody trying to write a story that is not realistic. And
Yeah.
you know, it's almost like they're writing a script. And you know, I don't care what they're trying to push on the sport of boxing. I don't care what the sport of boxing is trying to push on all the spectators, because an industry fighter or pushing an industry fighter is just some people's prerogative. But you
Right.
know, when you see somebody coming up with no experience and put a threat to that industry fighter, then it's not only a hit to the content creators who back the industry fighter, but it is a hit to the industry itself. And I believe that is one of the reasons why people are saying that Usyk needs to Usyk will destroy Wardley, and Usyk should avoid Moses Atama. You know, so there's nothing really you could say to counteract that, because all these people have kept the same energy for so long, and every single time you hear Atama coming up, you know, someone's just saying, "Oh, he hasn't earned a spot," and even if he does, you know, they're not even giving him. They don't even give him an opportunity, let alone give their prediction on the fight.
Yeah.
You know, I've been dealing with this boxing stuff for a long time, and the boxing game is starting to get to a point where, you know, these guys are just clowning, uh, saying whatever matches their narrative, and whatever goes along with someone else's narrative, so they can feed off of the followers that bolster the macro YouTube channels here. And you know, I don't believe in kiss ass. You know, other content creators, the micro content creators, when it comes to the sport of boxing, they're willing to kiss ass in order to get followers. I'm not. I'm not a kiss ass. I don't believe in kissing ass. I never have believed in kiss ass. Matter of fact, the way I was raised, is if you went around kissing ass, you would be severely punished for kissing ass. And at the end of the day, it's just the wrong thing to do. Do you the way it should be done. There's no problem with shadowing somebody, but kissing her ass is just the lowest of the low.
Yeah. Hey, what
And,
do you
and
did you
you basically being bent over the table and being done with no Vaseline.
Yeah. So what do you make of did you hear about Chauncey Billups and the other fella? Some I guess his last name is Rozier. Uh they're gambling. They just got indicted off gambling, or they got picked up by the feds.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah. I heard a little something on that, but I didn't get too much details on it because the report that I read, it was just people speculate. It was like the majority of it was people speculation, and it's like, man, I don't want to read that shit. What's the real deal? So
right. Well, I don't know, man. We'll see. I guess
yeah,
we'll
but
see as time.
back on the topic of this hatred
Cause
towards white
the
collar
reason why I
boxers.
brought it up, the reason why I brought it up was because you were talking about corruption in boxing and
Yeah,
all that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, it's one of the main reasons why buying a fight, like more and more people aren't buying fights, is because they see the corruption, they see the fraudulent product, right? If you want people to buy the product, you need to stop handing out bullshit. Okay,
Yeah,
this isn't just about people not being able to afford it. This is about promoters putting out a fraudulent product, people taking dives or robbery decisions, you know, pushing these industry fighters along and being a bunch of kiss ass. You know, like I know how this game works. And these people are playing dumb big time, and they seem not to really know the business side of the sport. They don't realize WBA or the sanctioning body's mandatory rotation in each weight class. They don't seem to know this because they don't seem to be very educated. And you know they were saying, well, these all these interim belts are all held up. A heavyweight, for example. How is Atama going to get through, right? Well, all he's got to do is fight Kubrat Pulev. Once Kubrat Pulev, I mean, I'm depending on what's going on with him and how the WBA negotiates here over the next week or so. We're gonna know if Kubrat Pulev is definitely fighting Gassiev for the voluntary defense. But as far as a mandatory defense, there's no getting around it. Kubrat Pulev fighting Atama, he will eventually have to fight Moses Atama, and as much as Kurt Deville don't like, as much as Showbiz the Adult don't like, as much as a lot of these followers don't like. Um, there's multiple avenues in there. You don't always have to rush into an IBF mandatory. Because number one, the IBF you got to wait 2 years. Like when you win the mandatory slot,
yeah,
you're gonna be waiting 18 months to a year, and I don't think that Atama is dumb enough to sit back and like let somebody hinder his fast tracking. It really He's just trying to put himself in the position to demand his match for undisputed. That's all it is. You can go the IBF route and wait 2 years, or you could get a secondary belt and cash it in. It's kind of like the same. It's kind of the same. It's kind of related, but it's not quite the same thing. But it gets you to the same destination. It's like taking the interstate and then taking the back road.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The interstate ain't the only way. You know.
Okay. I get you. So you don't like the way, you don't like the trajectory that boxers had. I mean, it's been going that way for a long time.
I mean,
It's been
I
that
like
way.
how I like the trajectory. I like certain I like the boxer's trajectory. I don't like over glorifying the promotion at the same time. Um, that's something that Riyadh season was doing before it was Riyadh season, and it was skills challenge. Remember when it was skills challenge before it turned into Riyadh season? Um, yeah, yeah. When it was skills challenge, and they kept on saying, "Oh, skills challenge, skills challenge, skills challenge," when they were doing these press conferences. I'm like, dude, how many times are you gonna say skills challenge, bro? You sound like you're limited on your words. You sound like every single you're gonna segue off of what someone says into something in regards to skills challenge. I went to take a dump in the toilet, but skills challenge, told me what kind of toilet paper to use. So that's exactly what I think of skills challenge and what I think of Riyadh season. And if people want to drink the Kool Aid and go to Jonestown, they can.
Hmm. So Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes.
Yeah,
Devin
Noakes.
Haney.
Yeah, Noakes
Dev,
breaks them.
okay, okay. So Noakes, no, you got Noakes. I
Hmm.
obviously, I believe you have Brian Norman Jr.
Oh yeah, by a
over
long
Devin
shot, man.
Haney.
You remember when Bartolo Colon, that fat pitcher
Baseball
from the New
pitcher.
York Mets? Yeah,
Yeah.
you remember his last baseball game when he hit that home run? That's gonna be Devin Haney's head flying into the stands, bro.
Okay. Hold on. Hey, Better Beef is on this card or no?
Yeah, Artur's on the card as well. He's
Dean Nicholson.
trying to get his get back, bro.
Wow. Versus Dean Nicholson. I don't know I don't know anything about that guy. This card is stacked. So
Yeah,
Devin Haney, Brian Norman Jr. is the co-main.
yeah,
Wow.
basically.
Benavides.
Yeah, but after Brian Norman sparks Devin Haney, we're not gonna have to worry about Haney anymore because he's gonna be in a box and put in the ground.
What if he pulls it off?
The only way he pulls it off is by cheating big time, bro. He would
Dude,
have to
this
be like
I like
elbowing him and headbutting him and freaking doing some real shit stuff. But I don't see how he can physically deal with Brian Norman's physicality, let
yeah.
alone. I
That's
mean,
for
this isn't somebody. This isn't somebody who's just gonna shell up
Oh,
and
hold on now,
and
hold on,
not
hold on.
come for you like
That
Loma in the 11th round.
that
This is
Devin
somebody
Haney.
who's gonna see you hurt and he's gonna take your head off.
All right, so I guess the Devin Haney fight, I guess it's they're big draws. Devin Haney's still kind of a draw, but like it is for a WBO welterweight title. So that's probably why They have it as a
Yeah, I
co-ed.
mean that's Brian Norman's belt. Brian Norman is the champion, not Devin Haney. You
Okay.
know,
Now I
then that's something
predicted
people also need to realize.
I predicted when Devin Haney was at 35, I did predict he'd be a welterweight champ at one point. I mean, I made that prediction. Here's his chance right now. But even if he
Well,
doesn't,
hopefully he gets knocked out and this is a retirement fight, and we don't have to hear anything about Devin Haney again. You know, so see him getting chinned, and his stuttering gets a lot worse after this fight. Is my biggest prediction of it all. His speech is he's gonna sound like Leon Spinks.
but
Um,
you're not hoping for that though, right? You just
no, I hope he gets worked on.
no, no, no. I mean, but you don't hope he gets hurt like to the point where his speech is off, and because that's like brain trauma. That's
I
like
mean, he's talked a lot of shit. He's done a lot of shit I don't agree with. He's been
what?
around them
So
Diddy
hold on. So
parties.
what kind of shit was he
So
talking that will make you that they will make you wish ill will? Like you wish
I
harm
mean,
on.
I mean, he's out there. He's out there getting a fight with and trying to bully people at the carnival. He's out there freaking trying to hit licks, doing home invasions and shit. Don't
He's
think I
doing
don't know
home
about that.
invasion. He's doing home invasions on
Yeah,
who?
yeah, yeah. The people who know what happened.
I don't
Uh,
know. I don't
I'm talking
understand it.
about. I'm talking about. You remember that shit where somebody jumped into. I think somebody had broken into one of Ryan Garcia's properties or something and gathered
Uh,
something. Yeah, I'm truly in a high belief that Devin Haney was one of them two individuals.
Is that
But
something Ryan Garcia? Is that something Ryan Garcia alluded to, or
that's on camera, bro. It's on camera, and one of them you can clearly see. Like you can, like Devin Haney has a weird, really suspect walk. So one of the guys who was walking on that security camera was walking identical to Devin the Dream Haney, who walks like a complete poofter. And
yeah?
that's the
I
end
don't
of
know.
that.
I don't know. It's all entertainment at the end of the day. Maybe they just doing that for as the kids would say nowadays, clout. But
Yeah,
do you
that ain't no clout, bro.
so
Like Devin Haney's on.
tell me how the Arthur Beterbiev versus Dean Nichols fight. How does that play
Oh,
out?
Nicholson. He's not on the level of Artur Better BF. I mean, I have Artur Better BF stopping. To be honest with you, Nicholson's not like a mover or anything like that. To the degree of he doesn't have the boxing ability to keep Better BF off of him. And I think this is just a fight to get Artur Better BF back into the world title picture.
All right, so is the Arthur Beterbiev uh is that saga between him and the other guy, is it over? I can't think of the name right
What
now.
Dimitri Bivol? No, it was
Right.
1-1. It was 1-1. The
So you
third
think
fight didn't happen.
okay.
See, the third fight was originally negotiated. Uh, like they went to Turkey Al Sheikh and they said, "Hey, we want to go to we want to do the fight in Russia, basically." And so Turkey Al Sheikh said, "Well, you got to go find a promoter that can put it on up there." So they went up there trying to find the promoter, and they couldn't find a promoter that could put up the money that they were looking for. So they went back to Turkey Al Sheikh. Turkey Al Sheikh told them, "No, I can't put on this fight for you,"
Why? Because he felt
which is
disrespected?
completely a robbing. robbing Beterbiev of his due rematch. You know, you give Bivol a rematch, but you don't give Beterbiev a rematch. That's a freaking cop out, bro. I mean, Beterbiev should call Ramzan Kadyrov like he did in the first for the first fight to come along. So, so this bullshit wouldn't happen. You know,
So
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 uh,
who is Bivol fighting then? If he's not fighting better, is he taking a little break or who?
he had back surgery.
Damn.
Yeah.
So he's out for at least a year and a half or a year.
I'm not for sure the degree of what kind of back surgery it was, how invasive it was. I don't know if it was like was it a minimally invasive procedure? But I know to I've been told that it's something leading into a procedure being done on his back. Um, you know
Uh,
that could just be going in there and burning a nerve, and you can spring back from that within a month or so. So
you
you know
remember when Tyson? Remember when Tyson fought with a broken back?
well he had sciatica. That's a spinal
Yeah.
inflammation condition.
He's like
It's
spinal.
very uncomfortable. He used to smoke a shit ton of weed just to counteract how he felt, bro. And that's part of the reason why he went out knocking people out was because he was feeling bad. He said, "You're gonna feel the pain I feel, fool."
Oh shit! Hold on. The Abdullah Mason fight is for a WBO lightweight title.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. It's
Three title
you
fights.
remember you remember
Jesse Rodriguez.
freaking Fat Sean. You remember Fat Sean Davis? What? Freaking missed weight
No.
months back. You remember Keyshawn Davis?
Oh, you said
Missed
Fat
weight a couple of
Sean.
months back.
You said Fat
Yeah,
Sean
Fat
Davis. That
Sean.
threw me off. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
Fat Sean Davis. Fat Sean Davis got it. It got his belt stripped, and that's why it's for the vacant WBO.
Gotcha.
Sam
Okay.
Noakes was ranked number one, and Abdullah Mason was ranked
Okay,
number
so
two.
there's gonna be four fights, four title fights. All of them are title
Hmm.
fights, except for the Beterbiev fight, which
Yeah, but better Biev's like right there to be in position. Like in my opinion, the winner of Better Biev or the winner of Better Biev and Nicholson
mm,
should fight for the WBC belt that David Benavidez is defending against Yard. So we got to really see how that pans out.
you think the winner should fight Benavides or is
I
going to
think
fight,
low key that's what they're trying to build up because they're doing this on the same fight card.
and then the winner of the Beterbiev, I'm assuming Beterbiev wins. The winner of Beterbiev versus David Benavides will go on to fight Bivol. You think or
That's a
no?
huge possibility. That would be a huge possibility. I'm not I'm not claiming to be a promoter or somebody involved with Riyadh season. I'm just stating that how I see what they're pushing, and I believe either Benavides fights. Well, we already know Bivol is gonna fight David Benavides. That's why That's why he. That's why the WBC is told him stop playing games. So
Okay.
I
So
see either Benavides fighting Artur Beterbiev or winning this fight in November and moving up to fight Zerto.
okay. So I take it you got, but so you got Beterbiev. You got Sam Noakes, Fernando Martinez, Brian Norman, and then David Benavidez. So you got two favorites, right? You got two favorites, David Benavidez and Arthur Peterviev. That's who you picking. The rest you have
Yeah,
underdogs,
man.
right? Brian Norman is the underdog, right? Versus Devin Haney.
Uh,
Who do you
I
favor
mean,
in
to
that?
me, he's not. To me, he's not. But to the betting odds, they may be.
Yeah,
Like
most
I,
people.
like after I stopped gambling, I stopped looking at bad gambling odds and all that other shit.
Let me
You
look it
know,
up.
as much as I used to. Like every now and then I'll look at the odds and all that stuff. But you can sometimes watch the odds in real time, uh, go up or down depending on how the fight's going, and people making bets in the middle of the fight almost. So
Oh no, no. Brian Norman is favored slightly. I mean, not slightly, but he's minus 130.
yeah,
Okay.
so like anybody who says realistically that Brian Norman isn't a favorite at all is a freaking clown boy, and Devin Haney has all this experience fighting what? Here's my question for you. At 135 pounds, how many how many fighters did he beat for belts to become undisputed?
I don't know, dude.
He
I
was
don't.
he was
No follow.
emailed the WBC. He was emailed the WBC belt, and then he fought George Kambosos.
That's a fair
That
assessment.
that's his experience at
He's
135 pounds.
well, he didn't just fight
At
with. He's
140 pounds. At 140 pounds, what was his experience of fighting a undersized Regis Prograis? He fought the weakest link, which is nothing but a cherry pick Floyd Mayweather tactic. So tell me how that makes sense. He turns around, gets absolutely dog walked by Ryan Garcia, and then he calls the Daddy Conti to spike his to spike Ryan Garcia's drug test. And then when they go to the
oh
New York
no.
State Athletic Commission's final determination, they
Mhm.
determined because Ryan Garcia had sent in a third party test, his hair follicle came back clear. And that right there should tell you that the NISAC's final report saying that Ryan Garcia is being suspended for, yeah, he's being suspended for not submitting a list of his supplements to the state athletic commission. I really know that Devin Haney has people working for him. He has Daddy Conti. He has all this protection. He's able to put things in his body other fighters can't do. And because if other fighters do it, they will pop dirty left and right. They don't have the Conti protection. Because when you guys see Snack and Vada, you may see a supplement company that's also a sponsor for boxers, and you see an anti-doping agency that in all reality can be weaponized by snack fighters who don't like the result of the fight when they lose. So to this day, I believe that Devin Haney uh, weaponized his relationship with Victor Conte in order to bring out a fraudulent test in order to get Ryan suspended, in order to get the loss removed off of Devin Haney's record. 110%.
Yeah, you cooking.
I mean, it's not just cooking, man. I'm putting in spices. I'm bringing in the layers, bro. I'm
Yeah,
layering it up.
that was spot on. That was spot on.
Yeah, it's like people don't do the research I do because they don't believe in an individual investigation of truth. They believe in being told by other people based off of information. And at the end of the day, you know, you can dig for the truth. Anybody listening can dig for the truth. But these content creators, they don't want to push the truth. They want to push narratives in order to cover up the truth. And that right there is one of the biggest problems in the sport of boxing.
Yeah. Sounds like I missed. Damn, man. I missed that Parker fight. I'm kind of kicking myself.
Ah man,
How long did it go?
you didn't bet on Parker, did you?
Nah, I didn't bet. I didn't bet at all. I didn't even know they were fighting yet.
Exactly, man. Like that parlay of the week, man. It, you came so close to winning that parlay, man. I got pissed off, bro.
Yeah.
Like you should have won
That's
that parlay, man.
how far did that fight go? The Parker fight.
11th round. It was 11th round, and there was still a big chunk of the 11th round for Parker to survive.
So who do you think Wardley's gonna fight next?
Well, it's clearly well. Here's what I think. What I believe is going to happen may piss off a few people. I think Usyk is going to. I think Usyk is going to fight a voluntary defense before he fights a mandatory defense. And I think Wardley is going to chill until after Usyk fights his defense, his voluntary defense. I think he knows it. I think Usyk knows it. You know, because he's. I mean, there could be a good possibility that Usyk goes ahead and defends against Fabio Wardley, but he's just been moving very, very suspiciously for the past months in order to avoid fighters with quick feet and hand speed. But he's probably salivating at the thought of Fabio Wardley not having some illustrious amateur career. You know, this bias against white collar boxers is uh, is going to be Usyk's downfall. And you know, even if he does something to um, Fabio Wardley, he's still going to have another issue coming from the WBA, which will be the eventual outcome of Itama and Pulev. So even if Pulev fights Gassiev, in December for his voluntary defense. He's still gonna have to worry about Atama the first quarter of next year. So he clears out. He clears that out right there. He will put himself into a prime position to cash in against Usyk. Beating now you're thinking, why would you fight Pulev? Pulev's like 44. Well, I didn't know that there was an age limit to be a world champion or to be a or to hold a secondary belt. Is there? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, there's no age limit, especially in the heavyweight
Exactly. And
division.
people are saying, "Oh, Atama don't beat up on grandpa," or Atama said he don't beat up on grandpas. I think he was referring to real grandpas, man, not just old fighters in general. I mean, Usyk saying, "Oh, you should." He was been saying to me this and that and other. No, he's avoiding. I know what's going on. Deep inside, he knows he's avoiding Moses. And the way what he just said, listen to what he said about not fighting Moses Atom. It's in their words. It's in the tabloids. So
Yeah,
you can openly see the the evidence of Usyk's ducking right there.
yeah, yeah.
He,
Well,
he sounds like
I don't
he
think he's
sounds like
ducking.
he's
Huh?
pulling up. He's ducking, bro,
I,
because that language is the language of someone who's ducking. Oh, he said some things, or he's been trash talking me too much. Well, this is a sport of boxing, bro. You're gonna deal with trash talkers, bro.
right.
You're gonna
Well,
people been trash talking forever, man.
so but you don't think he's scared to fight him though? You, you
Oh,
don't
I,
think he's
I know he's scared to fight him. I know he's scared to fight him because he should have been like, okay, blah blah blah. He could have just made a response.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, Charles. I don't know about that one. I don't think. I think Usyk is the real deal, man.
Yeah,
I don't.
I'm just smelling. I'm smelling. I'm
Smelling it
smelling
up, man.
some. I'm smelling duck coming from the Usyk camp. Burnt duck.
You think he? Do you think what? You think what's his name poses a threat? The other guy?
I think Atama knocks Usyk's spark out.
Okay. You think Usyk might feel the same way, or
I think Usyk is counting his days as world champion. That's what
I
I
don't
think.
know. I haven't noticed it too. Can you? What? I haven't really noticed too many kinks in Uzyk's armor. So
There's
he
one.
does everything
There's
well.
probably two. There's three fighters that have the best opportunity to take out Alexander Usyk.
Who are they?
Fabio Wardley, Moses Atama, and Ajit Kabayel.
Javier?
Kabayel has the fast feet work, and he has Usyk's kryptonite, strong body punches. He lands body punches a hell of a lot harder than Tyson Fury does. And he
Okay.
hit, and if he would have, if Daniel Dubois had the body punching power of Ajit Kabayel, he would have stopped Alexander Usyk.
All right. So how is his endurance and his speed?
What Kabayel?
Yeah.
And he's pretty good. I mean, he did get knocked down by Zile Zhang, but he got
Yeah.
back up and beat the living hell out of Zile Zhang.
Well,
you
Zhang
know,
has no
so
gas. Zhang has no gas tank.
exactly. So it's like Ajit Kabiel has the ability to overcome the storm and then come back with all kinds of help. And to me, even up to that point, he was outboxing Zile Zhang, and he got knocked down. And to me, it seemed like it was a decently timed shot by Zile Zhang. But other than that, I didn't see where Zile Zhang could have won any other round. You know that's like the only round I really gave Zile Zhang, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, so to me, it's like, yeah,
I I think there's more to it. I think
most people who get hit
I
like
think
that by
Uzik's just
Zile
trying.
Zhang
Sometimes Uzik's just
are
trying to enjoy
stopped.
life a little bit. Yeah, I don't think he's ducking anyone. I think he's.
Man, Usyk's not ducking, man. He was ordered to fight the WBO. He asked for an extension because he had a back injury, and then he's caught dancing at a freaking club. Come on, bro. Don't tell me he's not ducking, man. He's ducking 2 times over, man.
Yeah, he's enjoying life, man. He's out there dancing. He's enjoying.
Enjoying life. Don't be saying you're hurt. You don't ask for an extension from the WBO because you're enjoying life. That's not an excuse. Usyk's fought only one time in 2026 or 2025.
That seems to be the norm nowadays.
It's either you defend, or you're deposed. And
Okay.
that's my message to Alexander Usyk, bro. Because I'm telling you, somebody's coming to take his head. And multiple fighters are lining up to take his head, and gets on board, he either gets on board and fights the fights needs to do, or he needs to vacate and declare himself eternally a pussy. So that's how that is. Because he knows he hasn't fought. He knows he hasn't fought heavyweights that go to the body like Cabello, that have the hand speed of Cabello, that had the footwork of Cabello. He knows that. He knows the majority of heavyweights are slow
Yeah.
or slower than what he's used to.
Right.
And
You're right.
Cabello and Atama, those guys are very, very, very dangerous for him. You know, Wardley has the equalizer, so we will see if Usyk grows a pair of balls, or if he's just going to fight Wardley, probably win by a robbery decision. And last night a friend of mine on Discord, he said he says he could see Usyk winning a robbery decision over Fabio Wardley and turning around and retiring after having a tough fight. Like he could really see Usyk in a real big scrap and just call it quits.
Hmm.
And so it's like we may not even see Usyk fighting until he's 41 years old. That's just media speculation saying, "Oh, he says you'll fight until he's 41." Well, wait until you're in a good war, then you reconsider your future, because there's wars that you can go through and you can overcome anything, And then there's wars that change you. And the wars that change you, you know you're not gonna come out the same on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, man. You got a good point. But hey, I'm gonna get ready. I'm
All right,
gonna
my
hop in the
friend.
shower, get ready for the day, man. I got some things to do. It was nice chopping it
All
up with
right,
you.
man. All right, good talking up with you too, man.
All right.
Stay
Take it
safe.
easy.
Be blessed.
Yep.
Yeah, so I told these people they wouldn't listen, and I can't really put into words, what we're gonna have to overcome in the future. Uh, but we got some good stuff happening in the future. Of course, it's a big one big up for white collar boxers around the world. Um, you know, uh, I'm getting tired of people thinking they don't have to listen to me because I didn't have this illustrious boxing amateur boxing career. Uh, Look at what happened with Fabio Wardley stopping Joseph Parker. And people act like I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, okay. Sounds like these big boxing channels need to go and do their homework and actually do their own investigation of the truth rather than going off of what promoters and managers and big dogs like Turkey Al Sheikh tell them to do. You know, they want to live off of the narrative instead of living off the facts, and that's their prerogative. So I'm gonna do what I do best, and I'm gonna provide the truth. They want to keep on pouring out the lies and narratives, and they'll deal with that their heinous actions when the time comes. Because I believe people are gonna be having a meltdown over the next couple days, weeks, probably even months over what happened between Wardley and Park. You know, you think you don't have to. You don't think because I didn't have an amateur career that I can't fight. Look at what Wardley just did, bro. This is light work. This is easy work. Easy cooking them. Easy cooking all the haters from the very beginning to the current day. Easy work, light work. This is Sriman Veerbhaja signing out.